Scan, boom, scan, boom, scan. What's up, everybody? It's Monday, baby. I'm trying to make sure I spell it right. Monday. As I post this all around social media so y'all can hear me, so y'all can see me. Padres finished their homestand at 4-2. The NBA free agency might get wild, and I mean wild. And Canada makes history, and we go into the knockout round. Jab, 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 uppercut. As always, I'm your host, John Browner. This is the John Browner Podcast, and I am coming to you here on Monday. Monday, big show, lots to talk about. Most importantly, as always, if you want to reach the show, all you got to do is head over to johnbrownerpodcast@gmail.com. I should probably look into that. Head over to johnbrownerpodcast@gmail.com. Every time I get inside joke. Sometimes I get emails from SeaWorld, and every time I get an email from SeaWorld, I literally laugh. Every single time. Every single time I get an email from there, I laugh. But y'all know what that's about. All right, so check this out. In addition to all things, shout out to, by the way, Kicking It with Coach said he used to be a rapper. By the way, Coach sent me some lyrics. So I want to talk to him before I play it, but I got some lyrics from Kicking It with Coach. Bars. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk about that. All these things that are going on, and I'm still grinding and shining, trying to get to 300. The show is now broadcast. The show is now streamed. The show is now shared all over the place. We are on many platforms. Okay, we are on. I'm up to 294 subscribers, so we're 6 away, y'all. We're 6 away from 300. We 6 away from 300. Going on Facebook, going on YouTube, going on Twitch, going on X, going on Kick. It's helping. Putting the show in as many places as I can has helped the show grow. I need 6 more. So tell a friend and tell a friend to get your boy 6 more subscribers so we can get to 300. So shout out to that. Shout out to all the people at the Sporting Tribune who's also helped this show grow. The show's been reaching different people because of the Sporting Tribune, so I really appreciate that. So thank everybody over at the Sporting Tribune. Shout out to Ross McCausey. And let's get down to business. Now, normally, when we start this show in a space of, hey man, did you see what the Padres did this weekend? That's normally how we start this show, with some sad realization of trying to calm people down about how bad the season is going. And today, I can say we don't have to do that today. I can honestly say on today's show, we're not going to have to do that. But hold on. Before we get to it, let's hit the chat pack up real quick. Shout out to Tito in the chat pack. What it do? He got, okay, let me see what Tito got. Shout out to the JBP chat pack. America, Mexico, Canada. Soccer ball. Super's in the building. All caps, boom, as usual. Raiders versus everyone. Shout out. You know I'm about to do the thing, baby. Ron Gap 107. What up, bruh? What up, Big Brown? What up, Ron? What up, Ron Gap 107? All right, now let's get to it. Normally, when we do the show, I have to start these Monday shows with an outlook of the Padres weekend. And I can't lie to y'all. It hadn't been great. There ain't been much to talk about. It ain't been much to talk about at all. But we midway through the week, I said this Padres, the next 13 games will determine what happens with the season, whether they're buyers or sellers, whether it's time to really just kind of relook at this entire thing from a different scope and where it needs to go. But as we sit down today, June 29th, with the Manny Index behind us, he at 188, so it's creeping up. It's creeping and crawling, kind of like the subscribers on this show is getting there, but it's getting there slowly. Padres finished the homestand at 4-2. We all know they crushed the Braves. Absolutely crushed the Braves. Won the first game 7-1. I think. Let me double check. I think it was 7-1. The first game that the Padres won against the Dodgers, I'm pretty sure it was 7-1. Yep, 7-1. And then only followed that up by getting smoked. They got smoked on Saturday. And then they got beat on Sunday. So they finished the homestand at 4-2. This is the first half of the homestand, and the second half of the homestand, you're doing 3 in Chicago, then you got 4 in LA. I got to tell you, I mean, it doesn't, as much as the 4-2 feels good, the way they exited the situation, not great. Not great. But again, we are looking at this from can this team, through a 13-game span, play more than 600 baseball? I'm asking for 600 baseball. And at 4-2, you are above 600. I don't think 500 is going to get it. 6 and 7 won't get it. I need this homestand to end. Because you already got 4 wins, I need this homestand to end 7 and 6. I think that's 13 games. That's 7 and 6. That's 14. No, that's 13. Yeah. I need this thing to end at 7 and 6, man. I need 7 and 6. I don't care how you get there, but I need 7 and 6. Because you need to show improve against the Cubs, because the Cubs are the team that knocks you out of the wild card. In addition to the Cubs knocking you out of the wild card, your everyday lineup is pretty much the same, with the exception of Samad Taylor and some pieces you threw in. But everybody who you beat still there. So, and the Cubs aren't playing great. So I need to see that happen. I need to see the Padres go to Chicago and bring back 2 out of 3. So now you bring back 2 out of 3. Now you're looking at 6 and 3. You're looking at 6 and 3 going back to LA. And now unless the bottom falls out and you lose every game, win a couple in LA, you 8 and 5, 6 and 7 and 6, and now it's okay. Now we've dodged this large portion of the season with some really good competition, and we held our own. You outclassed the Braves. The Dodgers blew your doors off. Call it like it is. They're 7-1. The point differential made up in the second game with a 15-burger. I don't know how the hell you do that, but it happened. And then you drop yesterday's game. I thought Michael King was okay, but this is what you're going to get. It's going to be a lot of okays. Michael King was okay. The Padres have been surviving with okay. If you go to Chicago and you play okay, you should win 2 of those games. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for the Padres to go to Chicago and win 2 of those games. And now there's another thing I want to talk about, because there was an article written in Union Tribune about there being a lot of blue in the stands. Do we have to keep talking about this every time the Dodgers come to town? What to do, Biggie? I see you. Is this something that we're going to have to constantly keep talking about? Because if the Union Tribune, okay, listen, we're gonna get to this. Graham, you bring up a great point. Stammen can't manage the pitching staff. We're gonna get to that. But this Union Tribune thing is a little more. I'm a little more prickly about that. So let's hit the Union Tribune thing first. So the Union Tribune wrote an article about there being blue in the stands. Too much blue, or an unhealthy amount of blue. Look, this is very easy. This is not a sign of Padres not supporting their team. This is economics. Okay? The Padres selling tickets to Dodger fans at double their face value. This is economics, buddy. Like, if I told you I'm going to sell my 3 home tickets to this stand, I'm going to sell all 3 of them to some people coming in from LA, and that's probably going to pay for the ticket package that I have all year, or half of it. Done. Done. This isn't crazy talk. The same thing happens in the NFL all the time. Why would I not go to a rival game when that rival game, I'm going to sell that ticket and pay for the next season's tickets? This idea that the Dodgers take over the stadium, bro, they in first place. It's a regular season game. They don't do it in the postseason because I've been in the building for Dodger Padre games postseason. That thing is mostly blue and brown. Padre brown. Padre blue, not Dodger blue. It's probably 70-30 in a playoff game. And the playoff game is triple the price for them tickets. So this idea that what you saw over the weekend somehow would worry Padres ownership, it didn't, or it shouldn't, or it should be some kind of mark on the fan base. It ain't, and it shouldn't, because you know who sells tickets? The Padres do. The Padres are top 5 in attendance in all of baseball. That's New York City, that's Chicago, that's Dallas, that's Los Angeles. Padres in the top 5, bro. Not in that particular order, because we all know the Dodgers do the most because they got the biggest stadium. It's kind of cheating, but whatever. That's what's new to that, old phony. But as you're looking at it, that's not something that's not the fact that Union Tribune wrote an article about this. Let me see who wrote this article. I saw this and I was like, who's doing this? What? Union Tribune. It didn't make any sense. It really didn't. It didn't make any sense at all. There it is right here. The headline is, Padres known as the Dodgers heavy crowds at Petco. They understand the economics of it all. Jeff Sanders. Jeff Sanders wrote this. Who cares? Why would First of all, if you write a story about how much the visiting team is coming into your building, do you think the ownership cares? Those are paid seats. The seats got filled. We got $200-300 million contracts on our roster. Fill the seats. It's economics for people who live here who own these season tickets. It's economics for the organization. The building looks awesome. And no disrespect, who wouldn't want to come here for a weekend series against the Dodgers? Who wouldn't want to do that? Who wouldn't want to leave that traffic-heavy Los Angeles to come down to beautiful San Diego for the weekend? And then you get smoked 7-1. Now, the players got to do their job and send them back home with losses. So the players got to do better. Soup says, season ticket member here, upper level, sub-row, 6 seats were $115 each. Normally that ticket is $50. Dodger fans paid like $300 aftermarket. Exactly. It's my whole point. It's my whole point. Shout out to the Rigby family. My whole point. The markup is crazy on these tickets. So I'm selling mine too. I'll see y'all on Monday. I see y'all when y'all get back. So it's a stupid argument to have. But people have it consistently. People have it all the time. And the fact that the Union Tribune is still writing about this is asinine. But that's just me. Utterly asinine, man. But folks want to fight about this. People want to have conversations about this. All right, cool. All right, ain't nothing else for you to write about, huh, Jeff Sanders? Breaking news. Dodgers overpay for tickets. LA fans massively overpay for tickets. That's the story. Jeff? This is what the Union Tribune doing? Get your money, Jeff Sanders, but come on, dog. What part of the game is this? I ain't mad at you, though. Do you, fam? So I'm not really moved by this. The fact that this became a story and what's not a story is, wait, where is it? Okay. What's not a story is this. This is what should be the headline. This is what should be written. Now, I'm not, now let's get down to real business. Let's get down to an honest conversation. Graham, let's get down to an honest conversation for anyone who honestly, let's get down to an honest conversation about what happened with Craig Stammen and the pitching staff. Because I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to tell you that, the 4-2 game was something that stuck in my craw. It wasn't. This 15-run game was disgusting. And again, I like Craig Stammen. I think that he's done a great job with his roster. I thought that he's done a great job so far as a coach. But there's some Kyle Hart, Vasquez, 7 runs, 4 of them earned. The 15-3 game was diabolical. Craig Stammen is going to learn some things on the job, and as a fan base, you have to accept that. 15-3 is unacceptable. I don't give a damn who you playing. 15-3 is unacceptable. The Padres don't have much when it comes to starting pitching. The Padres might have one of the best bullpens in Major League Baseball, but when it comes to starting pitching, you're just coming up short. So I don't know what we're really expecting Craig Stammen to do when there's no Joe Musgrove. There's no I don't even know what's going. And did Yu Darvish retire? And Nick Pivetta is out. What feels like for the rest of the year. They keep saying he's going to come back. For those are 3 pitchers. Those are 3 pitchers that you were counting. Well, you weren't counting on Yu Darvish, but Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta were 2 guys that you were absolutely counting on to carry this rotation. Those 2, Michael King, whatever Yu Darvish could give you. Now you're looking at Walker Buehler giving you consistent innings for you to survive. So I'm not going to put a lot of this on Craig Stammen he doesn't manage the pitching staff. I got some bad news, man. Across Major League Baseball, there ain't one person making no calls. I think we all could come to an understanding about Major League Baseball, the way that it's managed, the way that it's ran, the way the substitutions work, the way the pitching, the closer is pretty the easiest call. The starter and the closer are the 2 easiest calls. Those are things that those are set roles. You are a starter, you are the closer. We know who's coming in the 9th inning to save the game, Mason Miller. We know who's starting the game because they give you 5 guys throughout the year, and at some point, somebody else comes in, period. That's it. But if you want to now look at this from a pitching standpoint, bro, we behind the 8 ball. There are only so many arms that you can go to. There's only so many places you can look for pitching. There's only so much you can trade to get somebody of value to be a pitcher. Like at this point, are you really one of these people? If you're out there, are you one of these folks looking to get Tariq Skubal on the Padres for what? So he can come here and get hurt? And then you give away some assets? Now, if you told me you were going to give up Tariq Skubal for whatever it costs, and then you get a Mason Miller-like performance when he gets here, yeah, man, take whatever we got. Take whatever we got, because having Tariq Skubal would really change things at the top of this. And then at some point when you get Nick Pivetta back, and you get Joe Musgrove back, and you got Michael King, that's now 4 starting pitchers that that's going to take the mound, that can battle. That's a whole week's worth of battling. I'm just saying. If you are under the illusion that the Tariq Skubal you're going to get is going to give you a Mason Miller-like performance, not the strikeouts, but the unbelievable consistency of going, that's why we gave up what we gave up to get him. If you think you're going to get that guy in Skubal, give up whatever you got to give up. I just don't believe that there's going to be some alternate change in pitching for this team that's going to have all us looking like, yo, look at they did it. I thought the pickup of Walker Buehler, I thought that's gotten you what it's going to get you. That is what it is. That's serviceable. That's been good for where you got it and what you paid for. when starting pitching gets hurt, it's usually the death knell of any season for any organization. This is no different than anybody else. The fact that we can't score runs hurts us immensely, but that wasn't necessarily I guess it was the issue because you scored a 15-3 game and then a 4-2 game. So you're hovering around 3 runs a game. So you're really kind of starting with a deficit. If you know your team can the most they can muster up consistently is 3 to 4 runs, I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know what any team's doing with that. Unless you got big time, unless you're the Phillies and you got big time home run hitters in your lineup, guys who can come up at the swing of a bat and completely change the game. Outside of that, so when we're looking at the Padres starting rotation, when people are telling you that the pitching was mismanaged, what would you have done differently than what was done? At some point, you have to take inventory on what you have from a pitching rotation perspective. And the Padres don't have much. That's literally all you can really do at this point. When it comes to the starting pitching rotation, the Padres have too many guys out. They've got too many bargain bin guys. And Michael King is really the only guy you have standing there that's been consistent and that's been consistently good. Good in the sense of he won't get you blown out. Losing 4-2 with Michael King on the mound, that's a hitting situation. 15-3, that's a hitting situation. Game 1, 7-1. Give me some of those against the Dodgers. So they won 4 straight. They beat the Braves 3 in a row. They beat the Dodgers in the first game of 7-1. And then they get ran off 15-3, and then they get ran off 4-2. You finish the homestand 4-2, man. That's the most positive outlook on the situation that you can have. Over a span of 6 games, you won four of them, and you lost 2. The way you lost the 2 were ugly. Well, one of them was ugly, and the other one was kind of one you wanted to win. But I'm not finna sit here and give Craig Stammen a hard time about pitching, man. I'm not finna sit here and give A.J. Preller a hard time about pitching. I'm just not finna do that. The guys you counted on, the guys you cut checks to, it's damn near All-Star break. It's about to be July 4th. We haven't seen Joe Musgrove. We haven't seen Yu Darvish. And Nick Pivetta was cooking, and we ain't seen him since his last cookout. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But they roll into Chicago. You take 2 out of the 3 here. You sit at 6-3, and then you go back into LA and you try to split that thing in half. And I think you in good standing. I think you walk out of that situation. You going into All-Star break, and you really can sit there and you can look at it from a strategical standpoint and say, all right, going into the All-Star break, we all right. Don't look at the what they call it? Excuse me. Don't look at the standings. Don't look at that. Don't look at the division standings. Look at the wild card standing. Half a game back. Half a game back. That's what your eyes on now. Let the division go. That thing been gone. You now in competition with the Phillies, the Cubs, the Cardinals, and that's your competition. Probably the Marlins, which is embarrassing to say out loud. But the Padres are in full competition now with the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Phillies. And the Phillies going to kick our ass, period. So the Chicago Cubs, this series is very important for standings. This in the wild card, and this series is very important for tiebreakers. What is going on? Yo, wilding right now. Did Graham get hacked? Yo, shout out to all the people listening on the podcast. Y'all got to come over here. If all y'all people listening to the podcast, man, y'all got to come and watch the show on YouTube where y'all can. I really don't know what's going on between Graham I don't know what's going on between Graham and Soup, but this is looking crazy. Uh, uh, they're having an All American battle. I don't know what's going on. Graham is going. Graham, you tripping, bro? What is going on? What? Graham, what? Did Graham get hacked? This is Biggie. Listen, Biggie. The Giants, the Giants in a worse place than the Padres, man. The Giants really are. The Giants are hurting. The Giants are hella hurting. That's here's the divisional roundup. Biggie says, bro, I'll take the Padres pitching staff over my Giants due to they haven't beat the Diamondbacks all season, and they're starting Mahe tonight, and he is 1-7 with a 5. Ooh. So the D-backs finna get that dub tonight. Well, Graham, whatever you Graham, you the villain. You know, Graham is Thanos in the chat pack today, bro. What happened? That's crazy, Graham. I don't know how this started. I could go back and read it. I'm not. I trust you too. I trust y'all. I trust y'all can work it out. Team USA, bro, all the way. I don't know about none of that other stuff. Go always root for USA, bro. USA in the knockout round. That's crazy what y'all got going on. Let me see what we got here next. Since y'all talking about rooting for the USA, let's talk about this, and then we'll get to the NBA after this. So Canada has now made it further than it's ever have in the World Cup. Thank you to the round of 32, the expanded knockout round. Canada has now made history. Did you know the United States of America has never been past the round of 16? Never. Let me try. Never. So we got a chance. So you're saying there's a chance against old Bosnia? I think we can beat them. I know we can beat them. We're going to get Coach on to talk about this maybe Wednesday morning, Tuesday, tomorrow maybe. But, buddy, as I look out on this, we got a chance. If Canada, by the way, Canada against South Africa was one of the worst games. Canada against South Africa is why I hate soccer. And I hope the rest of the knockout rounds won't be like this. But this is why I love the World Cup, because of what we've seen. What I don't like about soccer is what we saw against Canada, South Africa. South Africa played the most boring brand of soccer I think I've seen since I turned it off a couple minutes in during some MLS early when I was following MLS. The hold the ball theory or style, don't nobody want to see that shit, man. Don't nobody want to see that shit, bro. If you are going to hold the football, if you're going to hold the ball, score. Hold the ball with an imagining of the set piece that we about to cook up, about to be glorious. We finna make this thing like Showtime Lakers. We finna go bam, bam, bam from box to box, put it in the net. Hell no. South Africa held the ball, kicked it to somebody, kicked it back to the goalie. Kicked it to somebody, kicked it back to the goalie for a long time. The crowd was booing. Now, obviously, it was a mostly Canada crowd in Los Angeles, but nonetheless, I'd have booed that too. At least give me some entertainment. If you're going to beat me, entertain me. South Africa, I'm glad y'all lost. No disrespect to the continent. No disrespect to the motherland. But I'm glad they lost, man. That was pathetic. That was so boring. Yeah, Jessica, don't you do that. Don't you do it. I hate the World Baseball Classic because it's phony. I love the World Cup because this tradition. The World Baseball Classic was made up as a gimmick to make money. That's all. I think the World Baseball Classic was an attempt for baseball to make money. It's worked. People love it, and every tradition has to start somewhere. But what I will tell you is in the World Cup, when these players go back to their own teams, is there people slow starts to their season? Or you guys go tuned up, ready to go? Because I know from a baseball perspective, when guys came back from a Major League Baseball event to their Major League Baseball team right after it, we saw how it affected a lot of Major League Baseball players who are franchise players who went back to their teams that had slow starts. The numbers bear that out. Now, I don't know if that's the same for soccer, but I can guarantee you because the World Cup runs so long as a tradition that it's cut out in a way that it doesn't hurt teams when these players go back to their original teams. Because the World Cup is older than the MLS. The World Baseball Classic ain't older than baseball. And if you put the World Baseball Classic in the Olympics, now I'm cool with it. But it ain't, so I'm not. That's the difference between the two. But we got Wednesday, we got the knockout round, we got Bosnia. I had something planned for the first. That plug got pulled at Rady Shell. I'm working those. I'm cooking up something else. So, yeah, y'all move along, bro. Y'all move along. I don't know what y'all got going on. Y'all soft. Who's soft? What? Graham says you're soft. Super says you're soft. Huh? Y'all soft together? What y'all in here being soft together for? What? Huh? Graham and Soup being soft to each other? Well, I'm glad y'all worked it out, whatever it was, man. But shout out to Canada for getting the job done. Shout out to Canada for beating boring-ass South Africa. Shout out to Canada for raising the red and white. I like Canada. Love me some Canada. Love me some Canadians. I met a couple Canadians the other day here in the conference. Very nice people. Very sweet. They hated Trump, but, if you're from another country, I get it. Now, last but not least, let's talk about this NBA free agency situation and see if you can follow me because I got lost. I wrote it down. Let's talk about a couple things. Now, first off, in the NBA free agency, I'm going to tell you the rumors. You tell me whether or not you think this makes any goddamn sense. Kawhi Leonard going back to Toronto. LeBron James going to the Warriors. Jaylen Brown going to the Portland Trailblazers. Does any of that make sense to you? The only one of those three that makes sense to me is LeBron James going to the Golden State Warriors. Now, for this to happen, a lot of things have to happen. Now, I don't know why y'all shocked when y'all see people opting in to these crazy contracts. Some of my friends over at the Sporting Tribune, as a group message, they were talking crazy about Zach LaVine picking up his $49 million option. Yeah. Yeah. James Harden not picking up his option. Buddy, you better have a wink, wink, nod, nod. This what got you burdened with Daryl Morey. Because if I were the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not giving him $45 million. Are we on drugs? But Zach LaVine picking up a $50 million option? Yeah. Yeah. Don't mind if I do. DeAndre Ayton picking up that $8 million option? Don't mind if I do. Ain't getting that money nowhere else. Ain't nobody going to pay DeAndre Ayton no $8 million. Don't mind if I do, good sir. Yeah. What? Zach LaVine picked up a $49 million. Yeah, he did. Don't mind if I do. Now, the opt-outs are what raised an eyebrow in Golden State. So Draymond Green opted out of his $23 million so that he is in, I'm pretty sure he is in cahoots. Draymond Green is a lot of things. Draymond Green knows his place. Draymond Green knows he's not the star. He knows he's not the engine. But he's there to make sure the engine runs well. The engine is Steph Curry. This idea of Draymond opting out with an understanding of he's opting out as an opportunity to recruit LeBron James in the trade for Anthony Davis. Now, I will tell you this. If in the next couple of days, preferably between now and July 3rd, if you see that the Golden State Warriors have traded Jimmy Butler to the Washington Wizards for Anthony Davis and some picks, the jig is up. And LeBron's going to Golden State. There are reports that the Lakers and LeBron haven't met yet to discuss their contract situation. The Los Angeles Lakers are under new management. They're moving forward with Luka and co. So it's not LeBron and co. So with that happening, LeBron, I don't think this is a situation where they can't reach LeBron. LeBron's worth $1 billion. LeBron's got 4 or 5 representatives. If you call LeBron and say, hey, man, we want to give you $40 million, he'd find one of his people will hand him the phone. So this conversation that you hear about the Los Angeles Lakers not sitting down with LeBron yet, or LeBron's going through his process in the offseason, you believe all that bullshit if you want to. I'm here to tell you, you believe all that bullshit if you want to. That ain't what's going on. LeBron James should be treated with respect. I have my, sides with him where I disagree with him, but the Los Angeles Lakers need to treat LeBron James with respect. If you're going to try to massage our cap, then you get him on the phone and you say that. You say, hey, man, listen, you're our number one offseason priority, but we have to kind of get these other things lined up to get you lined up properly. So allow us to do this and see if we can build a team, and we'll go into the luxury tax, but we need to make sure we're building you a championship roster for you and Luka so you can go out in style. That's the conversation I hope they're having with him. But in reality, I think the Lakers have made their future. They've paved their road. They're going with Luka and Austin Reeves. And when you don't, and I'm on LeBron's side for once. If I'm not the priority here, then I'm out. If there's other suitors for me where I have a chance at winning a championship or doing something that's going to be so large for television and so historic for the NBA, I'm doing that. LeBron James on the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry, AD, and Draymond Green. Yes, that's an old roster. Yes, those are really 35-plus guys. I think AD's 32, but his body's 52. If you put that roster together, I'm watching that. I'm every game league passing that. I'm following that everywhere it goes. I'm watching every game Steph Curry and LeBron James play together in the same uniform. I don't give a damn where it is. I don't give a damn what time it's on. I'm watching. When that travel circus comes to your city, you're going. What? You know how crazy that sound? The 2 greatest players of this generation on the same team? The 2 greatest players in the last 25 years on the same team. You're crazy. I'm watching that. Did you sprinkle AD in? AD and Draymond on the defensive end? Draymond and AD on the defensive end, Curry and LeBron on the offensive end? Yeah. I'm watching that. Does that beat San Antonio? I don't know, but I like to see it. You mean to tell me after we watch San Antonio choke that thing away, you finna put I'm putting AD against Wemby. I'm putting LeBron against whoever they got on the front court, and I'm putting Steph Curry against whoever. And Draymond finna break Wemby in pieces. You think he elbowed Nas Reed? He finna break 80. Hey, man. I hope this happens. This would be prime entertainment. If the NBA script writers said, all right, new season, Knicks are going to try to repeat. We're going to take Kawhi Leonard, put him back in Toronto. We're going to take Giannis, put him in Miami. We're going to take AD and put him in Golden State with LeBron, with Draymond, and with Steph. Oh, don't forget, Oklahoma City's trying to get back to the NBA championship. Like, oh, don't forget, Luka's coming back healthy. Oh, don't forget, we traded LaMelo Ball to Minnesota. Man, when I tell y'all this NBA season, if this trade happens, and you send AD to Golden State, man, I'm telling you right now, it's sign me up. Take my money for League Pass right now. Tito chiming in the chat pack says, Kawhi will be traded to the Mavs or back to the Raptors. Yeah, that's what they're saying. The Raptor trade might be before the end of the day. That's what they, according to Shams. Biggie says the Lakers don't have enough defense to win anything, and they definitely are doomed for the next 5 years without LeBron because Luke and AR will never win because neither of them play defense. Yeah. that's a given. But at this point, neither does LeBron. Shh. I can't tell you how many times I watched Laker games this year, and LeBron was getting scored on, and he was turning around like, where's the help? Biggie also says, I repeatedly told y'all Giannis wasn't going to the Warriors. I don't believe any of these rumors and any of these proposed trades. Don't you believe it? Not one of these trades will happen. I don't know. I think this Warrior thing is real. I really believe this Warrior thing is real. Now, are you saying that because you're a Warriors fan and you don't want to jinx it? Are you one of those scary fans? You don't want to get your hopes up? Come on, Biggie. This ain't the place for that. But as I watch, I honestly think as I look out on the NBA landscape, I don't know what's going to happen with Jaylen Brown. I think what's happened to Jaylen Brown is a crime. I don't really know. I don't really know what comes next. I think Jaylen Brown showed he's a franchise player. They gave him far less than they've ever given Jason Tatum to work with, and he was finished second in the Eastern Conference. So now if you want to trade him for pieces and parts to Portland because, you pissed him off, because if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm not going back either. And if I do go back, it's not going to be good for y'all. If I'm Jaylen Brown, I got to go back to this shit that y'all try to trade me for the third time? Come on, bro. Just let me walk. Just let me walk, bro. If I'm Jaylen Brown, just let me go about my business, man. Because if you put Jaylen Brown in Portland, because now you got to talk about this. You put Jaylen Brown in Portland, you got Dame coming back off the Achilles. They'll probably trade Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, Danny Avia, a mix of that somewhere for Jaylen Brown. So now in Portland, you'd have Jaylen Brown, Dame, Klingon, Jeremy Grant. You still got pieces. You still got players. Drew Holiday, you got players. That team, with the exception of Dame, that team defensively can get it done. That team defensively competing. Dame gonna score. He ain't gonna guard nobody, but he gonna score. Jaylen Brown gonna score. Jaylen Brown just showed you what he could do. Now you finna put him with a diminished version of Dame, but who can still shoot that thing. You finna put him with Drew Holiday, who play lockdown D. You finna put him with Klingon, who protect the basket. You finna put him with Jeremy Grant, who could do just about anything on the basketball court. You're a Swiss Army knife. They're a better version of the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got rim protection. They got a veteran point guard. Well, LaMelo's a wild card, but I like this trade for Portland, even though I hate the owner of the Portland Trail Blazers and what they're doing. This would be the smartest thing they could do after all the bullshit that they've done so far this offseason, rather. So I like that trade. I like that for Jaylen Brown. I don't know what that looks like for Boston. I don't know what Boston's doing. They're saying Boston wants 5 first-round picks, which is bananas. If I'm giving you Danny Avia, an all-star, and Shaedon Sharpe, young talent, I'll give you 2 first-round picks. I'll give you 2 picks. I'll give you 2 unprotected first-round picks for that. I'm giving you an all-star and a young man who could get 20 points a game and do it in spectacular fashion. I'll do him or either Scoot Henderson, who's a former number 2 pick, point guard. Should be ready to have a breakout year. I'm not trading you Klingon. I'll sign and trade you Robert Williams back. Like, there's pieces to move from Portland to Boston. And then we got this whole Kawhi Leonard situation. Listen, man, I'm ready to. I was very high on the Clippers 3 weeks ago. I was smoking that ooh-wee for the Clippers 3 weeks ago. Boy, am I back to sober. Boy, I'm detoxing. I am detoxing. Boy, I was high on the Clippers. I'm in rehab. I'm in rehab right now, bro. And I got my chip one day at a time. I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous for these Clippers, man. Y'all went from with the ability to have Darius Garland and Darius Acuff with Kawhi to now having Keaton Wagler and no Kawhi and Brandon Ingram. Bro, Kawhi go where the money at. I don't think y'all understand this. Kawhi told y'all in Toronto when he won that championship, yeah, this was a cool 6 months, but I'm out of here. And now y'all want to sign him to a long-term contract? Yeah, he won't take that money. And who else could go to Toronto, though? So I don't blame them. Honestly, in hindsight, I don't blame them. Who else going there? Who? Nobody. But if you're the Los Angeles Clippers and you're looking at this, so you decide to work on trading your best player because you don't want to extend them for multiple reasons, whether it be injury, whether it be this investigation that they got going on. I don't even know if the NBA will let you trade them, but the NBA probably won't let you re-sign them if this comes back bogus what they did. So what are we looking at? So if we trade them to Toronto kind of got us by the short and curlies because we know y'all. We know he don't want to re-sign with y'all. We know he'll re-sign with us. Y'all talked about sending him to San Antonio. That's smoking that ooh-wee if you think you're going to get anything for him. You hear me? You're smoking that ooh-wee if you think they're going to give you anybody worth consequence. You're not getting Dylan Harper. You're not getting Stephon Castle. I'm going to give you a big old plate of De'Aaron Fox. You out your mind. Y'all really out y'all rabbit-ass mind. Y'all think in Clipper Nation, y'all are crazy. If y'all think they finna trade y'all Dylan Harper or Stephon Castle for Kawhi Leonard, y'all tripping. And y'all just got through telling us that the fit with Darius Garland is why y'all chose Wagler. So now y'all finna get another guard from San Antonio? Stop it. Make it make sense. This is poor management from the Clippers, but don't sound surprised. Trading Kawhi Leonard for whatever, whether it be monetary and y'all don't want to re-sign him, and he won a long-term deal, so now all of a sudden he cool with going back to Toronto. Kawhi going where the money at. And if the money is north of the border, then he's going to make a run for it. This ain't that ain't that complicated to me. It's really not. But if you're the Clippers, why did you wait? Why did you wait post-draft to start figuring these things out? If you're the Clippers, you should have had this figured out ahead of schedule. You should have had this figured out during the draft. And the strongest draft we've had in 20 years, you stood around with your goddamn hands in your pocket and ended up taking Keegan Wagler when you could have traded Kawhi to a better team for some substantial picks. If that's the case, you could have traded him to Golden State for the 13th pick or the 11th, whatever they had. You could have rebuilt your team. 2 picks in a consequential draft. Now you're finna just get some picks. Because when you trade them to Toronto, they're gonna be better, especially if they only give you Brandon Ingram. Again, I don't understand I'm sobered up on the Clippers. I'm sobered up. Looks like the Lakers declined the Marcus Smart extension. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Chris Haynes said the Los Angeles Lakers guard Marcus Smart is declining his $5 million. Oh, he can get more. Okay. He can 100% get more. Marcus Smart can 100% get more on the market. All right, last chat pack today. Biggie says Brown just may be uncomfortable with the environment of Boston racially because we all know how it is in that area for black folks, and Brown and his outspoken brother who ain't having it. You know, to talk about that I don't think it's that. For once, I don't think it has anything to do with race. I know Jason Tatum's light skinned, but I don't think what's happening in Boston with Jaylen Brown, I don't think this has anything to do with race. I think that they don't like him because he threatens Jason Tatum. And when Jason Tatum was out for the year, and they didn't anticipate Jaylen Brown being this good, I honestly think the Boston Celtics thought we're going to weaken this team, and we're going to let Jaylen Brown be the man for the season. And when we finish 10th in the conference, and now we now know he can't carry the team, it goes back to being Jason Tatum's team. And this idea of who's 1A, who's 1B, it'll settle itself out. Jaylen Brown had other plans. And I honestly think this is what happened with Boston. I think they thought they would put Jaylen Brown in his place, because I guarantee you there have been whispers around the organization that Jaylen Brown thought he was a better player than Jason Tatum. And they wanted to use this season to quash that, to pour water on their fire, to smother it out. And they didn't realize Jaylen Brown was a 5-alarm fire. And now you have a situation on your hands. Because when you tried to trade him for Giannis and you didn't do it, you also tried to trade him for KD a while back. That didn't work either. So you want so much compensation for him, but you also don't want him. Is a wild place to be when you're trying to trade somebody. Because now the league knows, and Jaylen Brown has made it well known, hey, man, I don't want to be there no more. So now your trade value took a massive hit. Your trade value hit an iceberg. You're taking on water. The band's still playing, but you're going down. Jaylen Brown is looking at y'all like, okay, if it's fuck me, then it's fuck you. Good luck. Because Jaylen Brown finna go in there during training camp, and he finna kick up some shit. Ain't no lunch you could have. Ain't no meeting you could go to. Ain't no sit down we finna go through. I got 3 years left on this contract. Buddy, I'm about to Jimmy Butler this shit hard. I'm about to come in here and get thrown out of practice a couple times in training camp. Y'all gonna have to trade me. I'm gonna show up because I ain't finna take no fine money. And this ain't my teammate situation. But we all have to ask the question: where the fuck is Jason Tatum? And all of this noise about Jaylen Brown, if you've seen it, please point me in the direction of, have you heard Jason Tatum come out and say anything in defense of Jaylen Brown? Anything. Don't give me no bullshit retweets about them. Have we heard Jason Tatum's voice in support of Jaylen Brown staying in a Boston Celtics uniform? No, we have not. So when I'm telling y'all there's something going on there, there's something going on there. Shout out to David P. When I tell y'all it's something going on in Boston, there's something going on in Boston, bruh. We ain't heard nothing from Jason Tatum. Nothing from Jason Tatum in regards to what's going on with Jaylen Brown. And we see Jaylen Brown speaking out all the time. In addition to that, I guarantee you, if he wanted to come on the Jaylen Brown Twitch stream or Kick, whatever the hell it is, boy, that door open. That door wide open for Jason Tatum. These boys rich. They could fly and be anywhere. Jason Tatum got a phone. He could link in there. He could co-host a Kick episode. What you talking about? The fact that Jason Tatum, I know this sounds super stupid and super sophomoric, but to say that Jason Tatum hasn't been on that stream, that's a big deal. With all this going on, be careful what you wish for on both sides, because we've seen Jaylen Brown carry a team. We never seen Jason Tatum carry a team. Now, I'm not saying he can't, but we ain't never seen it. And I tend to lean on things I've seen as opposed to things I haven't seen. That's old school, Biggie. That's old school, Biggie. Tatum saying my name Bennett and I ain't in it. So yeah, man, it's rough. We gonna see what happened with Jaylen Brown. We gonna see what happens with Jaylen Brown. But it ain't looking good. Let's finish up with the chat pack. Love y'all. Shout out. March to 300. We had 294, I think it is. Yeah, we had 294. We need 6 more. We need 6 more. So spread the word. Okay. Let's pump the brakes on Wednesday. My radio show thing got pulled from underneath us. We had radio show backed out on us. Had a nice big FIFA licensing and all this. So now we're trying to find another place to put the event on for July 1st. It's getting kind of close, so we're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna have to plan something else because that's so nice. That's not happening. That's canceled. Boom. That's shot dead. Pow pow. David P says I don't sell my tickets to Dodger fans. Period. It's about being a fan and not making money for me. Shout out to you, David. Get that paper, player. Get that paper, player. Vicky says Tatum said my name Bennett and I ain't in it. That's right. So yeah, so there we go. We just chatted. Wednesday is off. Wednesday is off. No Rady Shell. Sorry for the miscommunication. Sorry for the confusion. We lost the license on the event. So yeah. Business can get tricky sometimes, man. Business can get tricky. That's why I wait. You know how many? Yeah, listen. Yeah, I should have my kids subscribe. wait, hold on. Where to go? Yeah. Joe Rigby says, make your kids subscribe or subscribe for them. Let's go. Let's fucking go, chat pack. Yeah. I got enough kids to get over that 300 mark. Shout out to Twin. We might, listen, before it's all said and done, hopefully they win on the 1st. And I'm going to talk to Twin about doing something. I'm going to holler at Twin. Because we got to get together, man. We got to make something happen. Downtown is tough because of parking and all this other stuff, but I'm going to try to get us together somewhere. I'm going to holler at Rick. Rick Borba. I'm working on doing a comedy thing down there, too, so. Comedy, little stand-up I'm working on. Supposed to be dropping down down with Rick Borba. All right, last one. Super says, I'm not a for-profit fan. Will never sell my Dodger versus Padre tickets. Shame on the season tickets holders behind Padres dugout. Ooh. Chat pack ticket. All right, man, listen, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all take it easy. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and we'll see what's popping. Oh, wait, hold on. Biggie says, JB, come join me on my game stream on Twitch to play some Call of Duty in-game. It's fun and addictive. All right, is that the code to look you up? Let me see. I'm going to come look you up. All right, y'all. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share, talk to your friends, talk to your family. YouTube, we need FOMO. We need FOMO to get to 300. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Take care. Love y'all.